I get told all the time the tour pros just look effortless out there. They look like they're not even swinging hard. Well, the reality is they're swinging very, very hard. And in today's video, we're going to talk about something that almost all tour pros have that the regular everyday golfer does not have. And that's tempo, your timing, your sequencing. It's just off and it's killing your golf game. In today's video, I'm going to show you just how a simple rope can help you become a better golfer, get your tempo, timing, and rhythm down, and get you playing your best golf. So you're probably wondering, why are we using a rope to do this? Why not a golf club? Well, we'll get there. We'll use a golf club today, but the rope's gonna really help us get this. So a golf club is rigid, right? It has most of the mass centered up by the head. And in that, what we can do, we can use our arms and our wrists a lot to help move that club up and throughout the swing. And this doesn't really point out any flaws within the golf swing. Well, a rope here is not rigid, right? I can move my wrists, I can lift my arms, but as you see, the rope is very erratic. So what we're gonna learn today is how we're gonna use our body. So there's basically 2 points of contact throughout the golf swing. That's your hands holding onto the club, and that's your feet touching the ground. So we're gonna talk today about how we're gonna use the ground and work up from there. We're actually gonna learn to use the ground rather than just using our arms. So a rope is the perfect tool for that because it's gonna show us, are we using our arms too much to lift? Are we using our wrists too much to try and take it back? As you guys see here, if I just start moving my wrist around, the rope is not gonna swing around my body. If I have some arm lift, right, and don't use that, it's not going to swing all the way around my body. So rope is actually the perfect thing for us to work on our sequencing, our timing, and our rhythm. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with, a lot of these techniques where I'm going to be showing the rope swings, I've learned through Dr. Kwon. Dr. Kwon is a biomechanist, one of the best in the world. He's worked with tons of professional golfers and major champions, and I've learned that from Dr. Kwon and Todd Casabella, who I'm in their facility, Optimist Golf in Solon. So the first thing we're going to start out with is you're going to take your rope, you're going to hold onto it like this and take your stance. So from here, what I don't want us to do is feel any like twisting of the torso. We don't want that. As you can see, the rope started swinging a little bit erratically. What we're going to try to do is feel like we transfer pressure from one foot to the next foot and see how the rope started to move there. I don't want to feel like I'm trying to move my arms like this. I don't want to feel like I'm trying to rotate in any way. Super simple drill. All we're going to do is set up here, and by pressure shift, I mean like the best way I can describe it, imagine there's something under your foot, like a bug or something, right? And you're just going to apply more pressure, right? You don't want to throw all your weight over there. You're just applying a little bit more pressure, like I'm pushing into the ground. So from here, what I'm going to try to do, I'm actually going to push left, push right, and what I want to do without twisting my upper body like this and getting the rope to swing erratic and around my body, see how it's kind of wrapping around me? We don't want to see that. What we want to see is this rope just swing back and forth on the swing plane, right? But we don't want to take big swings with this. So we're going to kind of push left, push right, and we're going to get this rope swinging back and forth. We want to synchronize the rope with our pushing back and forth. So as you can see, as I push into my right, the rope matches up. As I push to my left, the rope matches up. What we don't want to do again is we don't want to start adding this turning or this rotational, right? Twisting my torso too much. This is probably one of the best drills you can do just to simply get the momentum of the club working and get our pushing from left to right and then right to left down. So again, you're going to take your rope, you're going to hold it like this, you're going to push left, get the rope swinging, push right, get the rope swinging, and go back and forth. You don't need to make big swings here. You should see the rope just tracking back and forth here. You should not see it wrapping around the body. So I'm just pushing from right to left here, just learning the proper pushing from left to right. Okay, so let's set the rope down for a second and talk about kind of what the golf swing is, right? So in the golf swing, what we see the average tour pro do is they're going to push from their left foot to their right foot, and then as the club ascends, they're then going to push back left. They're going to bring the arms down, and then they're going to swing through. So all they're doing is applying pressure from one foot to the next foot, and then their arms are essentially going with it, we'll call it, right? Allowing momentum to take over. They're using the ground to help produce the golf swing, right? So the best way I can describe this, if I was walking, right? So if I was about to walk towards this camera, I would stand here, I would unweight my right foot, I would weight my left, I would then weight my right, unweight my left, and I'd continue that process as I walk towards you. In the golf swing, we're kind of doing the same thing. We're just standing in one place, right? So I'm here. I'm actually going to weight my left to start the swing. I'm then going to weight my right and unweight my left. As I swing the club up, I'm then going to unweight my right, weight my left, and then swing the club through. So the best way I can describe this is I'm basically teaching you how to walk, right? So we're just not necessarily walking this way. It's actually a drill we can do, and I'll show you that with the rope as we go. But you just want to feel like in the golf swing, we're essentially pushing from one foot to the next foot. Pushing pressure from one foot to the next foot, just like we do while we're walking or potentially playing any sport, right? Running, walking, just any everyday thing. And the reason we're talking about the transfer of pressure from one foot to the other foot is if you've ever seen someone walk, right? If I said, hey, let's keep all of our pressure on one foot as we walk, right? You'd kind of look like this. It'd look real weird, and you'd never be able to get to that spot. You'd never be able to be explosive. You'd never be able to get from one place to the next very quickly, add any force, anything like that. So when you're walking, right, we're going from right to left, back to the right. And then if you're running, it's the same thing. If you're jumping, it's the same thing. We're applying pressure and then relieving that pressure. So when we set up in the golf swing, imagine if we just stacked all of our weight on one side, right? It would kind of look like that guy that's walking real weird. We're not going to be able to produce very much force and very much power, and everyone wants to hit the golf ball longer. So what we need to learn to do is push from one foot to the next foot, just like we do in walking, just like we do in running. If you simply rely on staying on one foot, maybe you'll hit the ball straight, but you'll hit it very, very short, right? And I actually believe if we get you sequencing the body correctly, we can get you to hit it much, much further and actually clean up that dispersion a little bit. This is something we saw with Bryson DeChambeau. As he got longer, right, his dispersions actually came down a little bit. Okay, so let's grab the rope again. Now that you have your rope, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna get set up in our golf posture. After I just explained how we're gonna pressure shift from one foot to the next foot, we're gonna talk about how you're gonna use that within the rope. So as I'm here, I have to get this started in some way. I don't wanna feel like I'm like lifting my arms or doing my wrist. That will never get the rope around our body like we're looking to do. What we want to actually feel like we do, we push left, just like we've talked about. You're actually going to swing the club forward, create a little bit of momentum. So you're going to push from your left to your right, and you're going to allow the rope to wrap up in here, up into this area. If it doesn't quite wrap around you and it looks erratic, you probably pulled the arms down too quickly. This rope should be moving with your pressure shift happening in your feet and the swinging of the rope going from there. So as I'm here, I'm going to push left, I'm going to push right, it's going to wrap around, then I'm going to push left, push right. I'm just pushing back and forth and allowing my feet to essentially swing my arms. This is what we want to see. If our arms get too quick and we potentially pull our arms too quick from the top, maybe you get the start right, you get up here and you pull the arms down too quick, you'll see it hit me in the back. It didn't complete its full rotation. So you want to almost feel like, best way I can describe it, you almost like allow this thing and wait for it to wrap around you before you start bringing those arms down. Bringing the arms down too quickly, like I've talked about in other videos, can be one of the #1 disaster mistakes players make out on the golf course. They get up here and they just rip the hands down as quick as they can. It throws their sequencing, it throws their rhythm off, and it just makes everything a mess. So with the rope, the two drills I want to see you do is this one here, where you're going to set up, push left, push right. We should see this rope working on this plane. We should not see it start to wrap around our body this way. And then the other one would be just simply swinging the rope forward and back, pushing from left to right, allowing it to wrap around our body. The next two drills I'm going to show you are some that I've done in previous videos. You've heard me talk about them, you've seen my other videos. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the two drills to help you with this sequencing, tempo, and timing that I've been talking about all video. One thing you might also notice is I'm in slightly different clothes. I had to pause my previous recording and jump back in a different day. So what we're going to do in setup, we're going to do the single step drill first. You may have seen some of these drills before in my other videos. If you haven't, this will be new for you. So I'm going to set up and take my normal position. Then I'm going to mark where both my feet are. So I have my lead foot and my trail foot. And then for the single step drill, what I then want to do is take my lead foot and I say, hey, let's bring it back about a club head apart. And then from there, what I'm going to do is as the club swings back, I'm going to step, I'm going to then pressure shift, and then I'm going to swing the arms down. The sequencing of this is very, very important. What I don't want to do is step too late and then shift too late while the arms are all the way down here. What I want to feel like I do is step early, and then as I shift, that's what pulls the arms down. I don't want to feel like I'm actively pulling the arms down. Think again, if we had that rope on us, if I pulled the arms down, it would slap me in the back, right? It wouldn't wrap all the way around like we want it to. So the single step drill, here I am. I'm going to go about a club head back. I'm going to step early, I'm going to shift, and then I'm going to hit it. So I'm going to go step, shift, hit it. And that's the sequencing we want to have. You can even create a metronome while you're doing this. So again, I'm going to go here about a club head back. As the club swings back, I'm going to go step. So earlier than that, so I'm going to go step, I'm going to go shift, and then I'm going to swing through and hit it. The single step is one of my favorite drills, but the double step that I'm about to show you is probably my favorite drill of them all because it replicates more of what we're actually doing in the golf swing as opposed to like just simply pushing into one part of our foot. This is actually going to teach you to push right and push left. Okay, so now we're gonna do the double step drill. So the same thing, we're gonna mark our feet in the setup. This one, instead of one step, we're gonna have 2 steps. So be sure to rewatch this part of the video quite a few times if you need to. This drill is very, very difficult, at least at first. I would recommend not to make really fast swings or maybe even hit the golf ball to start. So I'm gonna get set up. I'm actually gonna bring my feet to kind of meet in the middle of the 2 tees. This is an important part, I'm actually gonna hover the club up here. My starting position is here. I'm gonna start the club up here. As this club swings back, I'm going to step with my right foot before it gets to the golf ball. And then as the club swings up, I'm gonna step with my left foot. I'm gonna shift, and then I'm gonna swing through and hit the golf ball. So we have 2 steps happening. So not only just the one with the left, I have the left and the right happening here. So again, I'm gonna get set up, mark my feet, have them meet in the middle, and then I'm gonna hold the club up here. Here's my starting position. I'm then gonna go step, step, and through. And that's gonna help us create a really good sequencing of how we're pushing from our left to our right foot, as opposed to just pushing to the left foot. I think the single step drill is a really good introduction to all of this, but I think the double step far beats the single step drill. Plus it helps us produce a lot more speed than the other one. So one thing we're gonna talk about while you're doing this as well is when you get set up here, you're gonna bring the feet together. When you hover the club up here and you push it forward, what you want to do with the steps is make sure you step short or at these tees. Don't step too far, but you're going to throw off the shift, right? You're not going to be able to effectively shift the way we want you to. So start up here, push here. You want to feel like you step short potentially. I try to step short. So I'm going to go step short, and then swing through. I don't want to feel like I step too far back here because it's going to be hard to push back to my left. All right, guys, thanks for watching today's video. You should have a better understanding for tempo, timing, sequencing, whatever word you want to give to it, but this is going to help you play a lot better golf. Not only just understanding the rope, but understanding how the body needs to move and how we can use everyday things, everyday motions we do to apply to our golf swing. So be sure to like, subscribe, and turn notifications so you know when the next video is coming out.